What is going on, guys? Welcome to my Week 10 picks and predictions for college football. Now, before I get into this video, if you guys have liked my content, subscribe to the channel and like the video, and comment any input you have down below. Got a big video coming tomorrow. I will be reacting to the playoff rankings tomorrow, so tune in for that video. Starting off with number 3 Ohio State at Rutgers. This is a big game for Ohio State, believe it or not. I know Rutgers isn't great, but I think Ohio State has something to prove in this game. They have another tough game against a decent team. If they can beat Rutgers by a lot, it's going to be good for them. I do have Ohio State winning this game 35-10 and Ohio State covering. Now, number 25, Kansas State at number 7, Texas. I got Texas winning this game 35-31, barely covering the spread, and I have the over in this game. I do think Texas is a really good football team, and I still think they're a playoff contender, a legit playoff contender, more so than Oklahoma at this point. If Texas can get a win over Kansas State, it'd be really good for their resume, being they did beat Alabama too, and their only losses to Oklahoma, and they have a rematch with Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship if they win out, and if Oklahoma can win out, because Oklahoma, they have that loss to Kansas, and that could ruin it for them. The next game is Texas A&M at number 11, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a good team. Don't get me wrong on that. I just don't think they're a top 10 worthy team. Not yet, at least. If they can prove a point in this game and beat Texas A&M, they're going to get more recognition, because they haven't really played anybody outside of that loss to Alabama and beating LSU. I mean, they did play Tulane at the start of the season, but Tulane, they were without their starting quarterback. Tulane's not really great without their starting quarterback. They're a decent team, but Tulane, they're a group of 5 team, and they're not even the best group of 5 team in my eyes. But Ole Miss, they are definitely a good team. I have Ole Miss winning this game 34-27 and covering the spread. And number 12, Notre Dame at Clemson. I got Notre Dame winning this game 27-17. I think Notre Dame covers the spread in this game, and I'm picking the under. Barely covering the under. But Notre Dame, I think this is a good test for them. Very similar teams, very good defensive teams, but Notre Dame is a good team. I think they will finish the season 10-2 and possibly getting a decent bowl game and winning. Notre Dame is going to be good within the next couple of years. I think they're just getting started. They're going to be a lot better. On the next game, UConn at number 19, Tennessee. This is definitely just a cupcake team for Tennessee, but I think Tennessee wins this game 45-10. UConn covering the 36 points, and I'm picking the over 54 on this game. I don't think Tennessee puts up a 50 burger on UConn. I think they're just going to kind of be sleepwalking through this game, but they blow out UConn because UConn's not a great team. And on to the next game, Arizona State at number 18, Utah. I got Utah winning this game 27-14. It's going to be a lower scoring game. Arizona State has a decent defense, and Utah, you know how their defense has been. So I got Utah winning 14-27. I got them covering the spread, and I have the under in this game. On to the next game, Army at number 17, Air Force. I got Air Force winning this game 34-10. I have Air Force covering the spread, and I got the over. Air Force is definitely a decent team. They have a chance of going undefeated. And an Army, they're really bad. They're coming off a loss just a couple weeks ago, 62-0 against LSU. Army's not a great team. Air Force wins this game pretty easily. There's going to be limited possessions in this game, so Air Force won't drop like a 40 or 50 burger, but they win the game pretty convincingly. And on to another big game, number 14, Missouri at number 1, Georgia. I do have Georgia winning this game 33-23, but I have Missouri covering, and I do have the over in this game. I think this is a good test for Georgia, their biggest test of the season so far. Missouri always gives Georgia troubles. They have in the last couple years, but I think Georgia, like before, they win this game. They need to win this game, because if Missouri wins this game, they're going to be first in the SEC East, and Georgia does not want that for their playoff hopes, because taking a loss, that can make them struggle to make the playoffs. It would not be a good look for Georgia. Number 4, Florida State at Pitt. I got Florida State winning this game 38-21. I have Pitt covering the 21.5, and I have the over in this game. I don't think Florida State's going to walk into this game and blow Pitt out of the water. I mean, Pitt, they play pretty decent at home, and they beat Louisville a couple weeks ago. They played decent at home. They did get blown out by Notre Dame, but I think Pitt plays Florida State tough, and I still think Florida State wins this game pretty good, 38-21 by 17. On to the next game, number 9, Penn State at Maryland. I have Penn State winning this game 27-20. Maryland has not been a bad football team this year, but they're starting to prove people wrong. Everybody thought they're a decent team, but they're just losing games now to bad teams. Northwestern, don't get me wrong, they're way better than they were the last couple of years. They have a shot at making a bowl game. But Maryland losing to Northwestern after starting the season 5-0. They're now 5-3. Pretty bad look for Maryland. I do have Maryland covering the spread though, and I have the under in this game, and I got Penn State winning 27-20. Number 10, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. I have another upset in this game. I think Oklahoma State is a very improved team from where they were in that South Alabama game. I know they got blown out by South Alabama, but ever since that bye week, they've been playing really good football. Their offense is doing really well. So I got Oklahoma State winning this game 30-27. Oklahoma State covering the spread, and I have the under 62 in this game. Oklahoma State is a good team, and this will be a big test for Oklahoma. Oklahoma, if they lose this game, they are out of the playoff picture. And not only that, they might be out of the Big 12 picture. They might be out of the Big 12 title picture, so we'll have to wait and see what Oklahoma does. They got a couple tough tests. Next game is Virginia Tech at number 15, Louisville. I got Louisville winning this game 34-17. I got Louisville covering the spread and the over 48.5. This game may be closer, but I think Louisville, that game against Pitt, I think that's their one game that they're going to play like that. I don't think Louisville's a special team. I don't think they're great. I've talked about them in the past. They've had a couple close games. I think they're a 9-3 team at best, but they are proving a lot of people wrong, so give them credit. And they have this game at home. They play really well at home. They're a completely different team at home. I have them winning this game by 17. And on to the next game, number 21, Tulane at East Carolina. I got Tulane covering the spread in this game, and I have the over. I have Tulane winning 38-21. I know teams have been playing Tulane close, and Tulane's been slipping away in a lot of games, but East Carolina, they're 1-7. They're a terrible team. I can't see East Carolina keeping this close. On to the next game, number 23, James Madison at Georgia State. This is a big test for James Madison. I think this is going to be a really good game. Very underrated game. James Madison has a pretty good defense. So I do have James Madison winning 27-24. And Georgia State covering the spread, and I have the under 54.5. Georgia State coming off a blowout loss to Georgia Southern, so they're going to be fighting in this game to get redemption of their blowout loss. But Georgia State, they'll keep this game close, but I think James Madison, I do think they're going to lose the game, possibly two, but I don't think they lose it here. This is a big game for James Madison. I think their defense shows up, and I think James Madison wins this game. On to the next game, Cal at number 6, Oregon. I got Oregon winning this game 45-17. I do have Cal only scoring 17. I know Cal's had a pretty good offense, but Oregon's defense is just playing spectacular, and it's improving throughout the season. You could tell the difference from where they were against Texas Tech to where they are now. Their defense is playing spectacular. Don't get me wrong, Texas Tech is a good team. Oregon's defense is playing really good, though. Cal, I think they'll battle a little bit in the first half, maybe like a 10-21 type of game. Maybe not that low scoring, but I think Oregon does pull away in the second half, score like 4 touchdowns. They take this game away. On to the next game, number 22, Kansas at Iowa State. I got Iowa State upsetting Kansas 30-23, covering the spread, and I got the under in this game. I really think Iowa State's a very good team. Just like Oklahoma State, the Big 12 has some good teams who aren't ranked. And Iowa State, they are 4-1 in the Big 12. 2 losses coming outside of the Big 12. They have a big shot at making the Big 12 championship. If Oklahoma loses another game and Iowa State somehow beats Texas, which there's a possibility being they have that game at home, Iowa State, they can definitely do something this year. They could possibly make the Big 12 championship, and I do have Iowa State winning this game. I think there's good value on this team at home. Kansas coming off a tough game against Oklahoma. They're not going to be up for the road test against Iowa State. Kansas, they're coming off a big win. They're going to be too confident. Iowa State wins. Next game is Purdue at number 2, Michigan. I got Michigan winning this game 41-7. I got Michigan covering the spread, and I got the under in this game. I have Michigan actually beating Purdue, the same score Ohio State beat them. I think Michigan, they're going to have that same defensive dominant performance like they always do. I only have them scoring 41, but I do have them covering the spread. Purdue, they're a little bit better than some of the other Big Ten teams that Michigan's played, like Michigan State. On to the next game, number 5, Washington at number 24, USC. It's a big game for Washington, being they haven't played good the last couple weeks. I know USC is not a great team, but they still are a good team. Their offense is really good. This is going to be a test for Washington, but I do think they win this game 42-35. I have Washington covering the spread and the over in this game. The over-under is at 76, which is crazy. That's how bad they think USC's defense is and how bad Washington's defense is. And not just that, but these offenses, they're some of the best in the country. They might be the two best offenses in the country. On to the next game, the game of the week, number 13 LSU at number 8 Alabama. It's a big game for both teams in the SEC West. Winner of this will be on top of the SEC West and possibly go all the way to the SEC Championship. Both teams are pretty good teams, but I think Alabama, what they're doing right now is special, coming back from that loss against Texas, getting better every single week, beating teams. I know they've had a couple close games, but they're still winning. Nick Saban, he has a fire under this team. I think Alabama, if they win out, they have a chance to beat Georgia. And I do have Alabama winning this game 34-31. I have Alabama covering the spread, and I have the over in this game. On to the next game, number 16, Oregon State at Colorado. I got Oregon State covering the spread and the over in this game, and I got Oregon State winning 41-24. I think Oregon State's going to bounce back from that loss. Colorado's nothing great, and I keep thinking they're going to have a spectacular performance, have one game this year, but I don't know. Shiloh Sanders is going to be out for the first half, so that's going to be really bad for Colorado. So I have Oregon State winning this game pretty convincingly. They're going to be very dominant at the offensive line, and they're going to throw some deep bombs in. Oregon State's just going to kill Colorado's defense. Oregon State has a very balanced offense, and they're going to beat Colorado pretty well. And Colorado, they might get some points on the board, but Oregon State's defense is good enough to hold Colorado to 24. And on to the last game of the day, number 20, UCLA at Arizona. Arizona playing a night game again. I have Arizona covering the spread in this game and winning it 35-27. And I have the over in this game. I think Arizona's offense has been really good this season. They're probably close to a top 25 team. If they win this, they'll probably be in my top 25. And UCLA, they're a good team, but I don't know if they're better than Arizona. UCLA still has some stuff to improve on. They're going to be good within the next couple of years, but they still have some questions on the quarterback position, on their offense. Their defense is good, but Arizona's offense will outplay UCLA. I just think this is going to be a great game for Arizona at home, coming off a big win. They're going to go 6-3 and win this game. That is it for the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, like the video, please subscribe. It will help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. So I'm going to keep posting as much as possible. Keep working hard at this, and goodbye, guys.